In this video, we will walk through the status configuration options available in the Social Post Flow WordPress plugin. If you haven't done so already, you can connect the plugin to Social Post Flow, and we have a video that covers how to walk through that process. Once you've done that, you can click on Social Post Flow in the WordPress administration menu, and you're presented with the interface that shows the settings, along with a number of tabs along the top that relate to the public post types that your WordPress website has registered. For most people, this will mean that you'll see tabs for posts and pages, but you may see other tabs for events or products or other public post types depending on your WordPress site's configuration. Clicking the Post tab allows us to configure the statuses to publish to social media whenever a WordPress post is published or updated or some other action takes place with it. On the left, we have our Defaults tab, and we can see that we have 4 tabs along here: Publish, Update, Repost, and Bulk Publish. The Publish tab's statuses will be sent to social media whenever a WordPress post is first published or transitions from its scheduled status to published. The Update tab will send statuses to social media whenever you update or save an existing published WordPress post. The Repost tab's statuses will be sent to social media whenever you utilize the WordPress plugin's Repost functionality, and we have a separate video on how to configure and use that. And the Bulk Publish tab will apply whenever posts are bulk published to social media using the plugin's Bulk Publish functionality. And again, we have a separate video on how that works. For now, we'll focus on the Publish tab. So whenever a WordPress post is first published, we would like it to be added to our social media accounts. We have our status here, and we can click the pencil icon to edit this status, and we're given a number of fields that we can configure. Firstly, we have the status type and text. There are 4 main status types that you can publish to social media with Social Post Flow. The first is text, which will be a simple text-based update on social media. The link type, which includes a link preview card on some social networks and provides the option further down to specify the URL to share. The image status type, and this is where you can select 1 or more images from the WordPress post or from other areas such as advanced custom fields to include in your social media status. And for Instagram stories, you will have the ability to select the story option, and this will post to the Instagram story for that Instagram account. Next, we have an insert tag dropdown, and this lists a number of dynamic tags that will fetch data from the post or the post author or the categories or tags that you want to display as the text for that social media post. By default, we have the new post followed by the title and the URL, but I can freely go ahead and change this. I could remove this, for example. I might have the title here. I might wish to have the excerpt as the next line and perhaps a break line before the URL. I can also type in the left curly brace in the text editor, and I'm given the same list of tags as we saw in the Insert Tags dropdown. We have many tags available, and we'd recommend that you refer to our documentation on how they all work. So in this example, I'd like the excerpt, so I'll go ahead and click the excerpt tag there. I want to remove that space, and I'm happy with how that looks. Moving down to the first comment, this is optional. If you would like to include a first comment with the social media post, this is where you would define the text for that comment. So I'm going to take the URL out of my status text here, and instead I'm going to place it here. Alternatively, I can use the insert tag dropdown and select the applicable tag that I'd like to use. And perhaps we'll do read full post here, followed by the URL. Moving on to scheduling options. This determines when the status should be published to social media. The Post Immediately option will publish this status to social media as soon as the WordPress post itself is published. I have the option to add the status to the end of my social post queue, and this is where this status would be added after all of the other scheduled statuses that you might have, for example, from other posts or other sources or any statuses that you may have scheduled within the Social Post Flow interface itself. I can add the status to the start of that queue. So this basically tells Social Post Flow this is the next status to publish to your social media. We also have the custom time option. So this is relative to the action. And because we're working on the publish action, I could say I'd like this status to go out 1 day after the WordPress post is published. I can also make use of the relative format. So for example, if I like to have my statuses always published on a Monday, I could say publish this next Monday at noon. For now, we'll go with post immediately to demonstrate how the statuses work. Once I'm happy with my settings, I can go ahead and click save. And then on the left-hand side, I've got the connected social media profiles. And as we can see here, we have our Facebook profile, and the green tick denotes that we have enabled this social media account. And this means that posts will be sent to that social media account whenever we publish a WordPress post. I can also go ahead and select other accounts. So I'll select my X account as well. And once I'm happy with the accounts I've selected, I can go ahead and click save. Moving to the post editor, on screen I have a WordPress post that I've drafted and have been working on. And I'm just going to go ahead and finalize it by adding an excerpt. And once I'm happy with everything, I can go ahead and click the publish option here. And if we refresh our social post flow log, we can see that 2 statuses were created. The first one went to our X profile and the second one went to our Facebook profile. And we can see the status text is based on the title followed by the excerpt. And as a quick reminder, if we go back to our settings in social post flow, we configured the text here to be the post title and the excerpt on the next line. If we navigate to the social post flow app and we click on the posted tab under all of our posts, we can see here that the 2 posts have now been published to social media. So for Facebook, we have the post title followed by the excerpt, and the same for our X account as well. And the first comment again copies the text that we had, which was the read full post here, followed by the URL. And just as a reminder, this is what we entered into the first comment field here. Navigating to X, we can see that the post title and excerpt was published here, and our first comment with the read full post here includes the link. And this link is what we call a link preview, because our WordPress site is using an SEO plugin that allows this open graph style of link to be rendered by X. We can also navigate to our Facebook page, and we can once again see that we have the title followed by the excerpt and the author comment immediately below saying read the full post here. And once again, we have that link preview and the link within the text as well. Next, we'll demonstrate how the link status type works. So on the drop down here, we can select link instead of text. We're still able to define our title and excerpt as before, and I can have different text here. We won't define a first comment in this example. We'll keep our schedule the same, but we now have a new setting here called link. And this is the primary URL to use for the link preview. I can add additional links within my text here if I wish, but this is the main link that I want to showcase when I'm publishing to social media. And by default, we will use the URL tag. We'll save our settings. And on screen in the WordPress post editor, I've defined my title, content, a featured image here, and the excerpt. We'll go ahead and click publish. We can refresh our log. We can see that the status has been scheduled for immediate publication to both X and Facebook. And we can see this time in the social post flow web interface that we have the 2 statuses, one for Facebook and one for X, with the title and the excerpt. And you'll see that below there we have a rendered link, and this will act as the link preview. We can also see with the icon here on the left that this is a link status type. Navigating to our Facebook page, we can see that the status has been published with the title followed by the excerpt, and we have this large link preview card here, and this links to the URL of the WordPress post. For X, we can see again that we have the post title followed by the excerpt, and we again get this rendering of this link preview card, and clicking this will take you straight through to that WordPress post URL. Our next status type is image, and this is useful if you want to showcase some high quality images within the post on social media. Because we've selected the image status type, we have this new setting here within the status where we have image as well as additional images and a limit. For now, we will tell the software to use the featured image as the image for the status. We do have an option for text to image, which we'll cover in a separate video. We'll go ahead and save our settings. And once again, I'm in the post editor where I'm creating a new WordPress post with my title, my excerpt here on the right hand side, along with the featured image that will be presented on social media. We'll go ahead and click publish. Once again, refresh our log to confirm that the status was sent to Facebook and X. And in the social post flow interface, we can see that the status was added for scheduling to Facebook and X with the title, the excerpt, and we have the image that will be published here. We also have the icon on the left that denotes that this is an image status type. Navigating to our Facebook page, we can see that the status has been published with the title, the excerpt, and we can see the image here. And if we click the image, instead of going through to the WordPress post, we are presented with the image instead. And this is because we're using the image status type and not a link status type. For X, once again, we see the title, excerpt, and again, we have the image, and we can click that image to see the full size version. This won't link through because this is the image status type and not the link status type. But perhaps we want to add more than one image to our status. And this is where the additional images option comes in. So when we edit our status in the WordPress plugin, we have this option here. By default, it's none, which means that we only have that featured image display. We can choose from our post settings, or we can choose to have the plugin auto-populate from the post content. We'll select the post settings and demonstrate how this works. We also have a limit. So every social media platform has a maximum number of images that can be posted to a status, but we can have a lower limit if we wish. If I don't select a limit, the software will post up to the maximum number of images that are permitted for each of the social networks. We'll click save to save our image status. And once more, we are in the post editor where I've created a new post ready to be published with the title, content, excerpt, and featured image. This time, if we scroll down on the right-hand sidebar, we can see the social post flow featured and additional images section. And this is where we can define the images that we want to include in the statuses to social media. So we'll click the select images button, and I'm going to select these 4 images here. Click select, and we can see that the 4 images are placed there. If I want to remove some images, I can click the X. I can also drag and drop these if I wish to reorder them in some way. I can also go back and click select images to insert additional images as well. Once I'm happy with all of my post settings and I'm ready, I'll click the publish button. We refresh our log to confirm that the status has been scheduled to Facebook and X for immediate publishing. And in the social post flow interface, we can see that the Facebook and X image status types have been created. And this time we've got those 4 images instead of the single featured image that we had last time. And as a reminder, that's because we've configured our image type to use the additional images specified in the post settings. Viewing our Facebook page, we can see that the status has been created with the title and the excerpt, and we've got those 4 images there. And we can click on these images to see the full-size versions, and we can also go through them using the left and right arrows. For X, we once again see the title and excerpt, and again we have the images, and we can navigate through these as well. And this is great if you're looking to showcase some photography or something similar. For the image status type, we can include a link within the text or the first comment. And this will be rendered as a clickable link, although it won't have the full link preview experience as if we were using the link status type. So we'll demonstrate how this works. I'll add a new line here, open my left curly brace, start typing URL. I can select the URL dynamic tag. I could as well put this in the first comment. So let's go ahead and demonstrate how that works. We'll retain our other settings, so we'll be posting up to 4 images to the social networks. In the post editor, I have a post ready to publish, and I've got the same images as we had before, and our title, and again, our excerpt. We'll publish our post, confirm that it was created in social post flow through the log, and this time we can see we have the text, the excerpt, the link is here, and we also have that first comment that includes the link as well. Navigating to our Facebook page, we can see the title, excerpt, and our 4 images as before, but this time we can see that that link has been rendered. So clicking that would take us straight through to the WordPress post. And if we view the comments for this, we can see that we have the first comment with the link, and that has that smaller preview included. For our X profile, again, we can see that the link is clickable, although it's not the full link preview with our 4 images, and that's because we're using the image status type. And we have the first comment below that includes that rendered version of the link straight through to the WordPress post. The final status type is the Instagram story type, and you'll notice that this is grayed out. Now that's because we're on the defaults tab here, and so these default settings apply to any of the profiles that we select in the left-hand sidebar. To utilize the story type, we need to define this for the Instagram account, but we'll go ahead and enable this for Instagram. You'll see that there's also an override defaults option. And when we check this box, we're given a familiar interface that we had for the default section here, where we have the 4 tabs, and we can enable the actions in the same way that we do here on defaults. So on Social Post Flows Instagram, we can tick the enabled option here. And if we edit our status and select our drop down, we can see that we cannot post text and link status types, and that's because every Instagram status must have an image with it. We've only got the option to select an image or a story. We'll demonstrate how the story works. The text won't apply to the Instagram story here, so this could be anything that you need, and we'll use a single featured image from the WordPress post. We will set this to publish immediately to demonstrate how this works. Scroll down and click the save option here. Here I have my WordPress post ready to publish with a featured image, and this is a square 1440 by 1440 pixel image. Social Post Flow will automatically crop this for the dimensions required for an Instagram story for you. We could, if we prefer to provide our own cropped image, use the Select Images functionality within this section here. But for now, we'll let the Social Post Flow app handle the cropping for us. We'll publish post. We refresh our log to confirm that it's been added to Social Post Flow, ready for immediate scheduling. And we can see when we navigate to Social Post Flow that we have the story being published to our Social Post Flow Instagram account. And you'll see that the crop here has been applied for that 9:16 aspect ratio to be compliant with Instagram stories. Navigating to the Instagram profile, we can see that the story has now been published here. And clicking this shows us the story on screen with that 9:16 aspect ratio. We hope you found this video useful in configuring the Social Post Flow plugin for WordPress. In the next video, we will show you how to configure individual statuses for each separate social media profile, as well as walking through some of the more advanced functions, including the post conditions, author conditions, scheduling multiple statuses for a WordPress post, as well as looking at how you can define settings on individual WordPress posts that override the plugin's defaults.